Hi, my name's Hayley Quinn. I'm a seduction and dating expert, and I'm going to be here on onlinedating.org every single week giving you top advice on what to do in dating, online dating, sex and relationships. Now the thing I'm going to speak to you about today is just some general suggestions about where to take someone for a first date, particularly if you've just met them off the internet. Obviously, if you've met someone on the internet, you don't kind of know how you're going to connect in real life as a person. So my first tip is to make the date customisable in length. This is so important because if it's going badly, it gives you an option to bail out, but if it's going well, then you can keep the segments together and extend the date as long as it's going amazingly for. So a good example of this would be to start out somewhere just like a coffee shop or a bar, nothing amazing. Grab a coffee, grab a drink. If it's going well, then have an idea, have a plan in your mind. This is particularly important as well for guys because women find this so attractive when a man knows exactly what he's going to do and has the ability to say, hey, I've got a great idea, let's go here. So after you finish that first coffee or that first drink, things are going great. If it's during the daytime, maybe go for a nice walk. If it's a night time, hit another bar. And what you keep doing is you keep adding these little segments of the date together so that the amount of time you have can be stretched out or shrunk depending on how well the date is going. So that's tip number one for your first date from online dating, is have a date that is customisable in length. The second tip, which kind of links to the first one, is also try to pick a date location that is relatively low investment for the other person to go through. What I mean by low investment is that it actually requires not too much effort for the other person to turn up at. This is really important because people so often bail out and flake on first dates because they get panicked, they're worried, they've never met this person before. So it's very easy if they have to take a long car journey or a train journey, or if you're in London and hop on a tube to get somewhere, that at the last minute they'll think, oh no, I can't be bothered, I'm just going to cancel. That's why whilst making a really elaborate first date plan sounds great on paper, like going somewhere for a day trip, going to Paris, going out for a long meal followed by drinks, or going to the theatre and a meal, sounds amazing, but when push comes to shove, that could give the person more reason to flake. So what I would actually do is choose something that is lower investment, like just meeting for one coffee or one drink. People tend to think, hey, I can fit that into my schedule, what's the worst that can happen? And they'll be thinking the same way as you, if this all goes wrong, I've only committed for this half an hour, this 1 hour coffee or drink. However, as I've just discussed before, if it's going really well, you can then extend the date by adding on extra segments. Okay, my third tip is going to be, again, related to the first two, to keep the date moving. Staying in one coffee shop, one bar, one restaurant can feel quite static. Often through the course of an evening or a day, the environment will also change. It might become too busy, too quiet, awkward, and because your environment around you is static and there's a lack of change, it provides you with less things that you can actually comment and talk about. However, if you keep the date moving, keep the momentum, you keep changing location, you go on a walk, the environment around you is going to provide you with so many different things that you can actually speak about. This is great, it will fuel conversation, it will keep things moving. It also gives you nice and logical places and cuts where you can bail out of the date if it's not going so well. So, my 3 best tips for good first dates are as follows. Firstly, create a date that is customisable in length. A date that can be lengthened or cut short depending on how well things are going. For instance, if your date suddenly turns around and tells you he's married, then you don't want to be sticking around, but you might want to be completely impolite either. Point number 2 is choose a date that is low investment. And by low investment, I think someone that's easy for someone to commit to, and a commitment that they're likely to stick to because it doesn't require too much time or effort from them. I know it's lame, but that's just kind of how humans' psychology works, particularly in big cities like London. People have busy lives, and it's often better to go with that, make a low commitment, get them on the date, and then if it goes well, by all means plan something more adventurous next time. Third tip is to keep it really moving, keep it mobile and fluid. By swapping between several different locations, not only do you create natural breaks where you can leave the date if it's going badly, and also give the other person the opportunity to leave without causing any embarrassment to themselves, but the sheer act of moving and changing location will feed different topics of conversation, which will help to make the date move along and feel more natural, feel more fluid. So I hope that helps you. These are my 3 best tips. I'm going to be giving at least 2 advice videos for onlinedating.org every single week, so please keep checking them. Any questions, please email in as well. I'd love to hear from you. My name's Hayley Quinn. I'm a sex and dating and relationship expert with onlinedating.org.